You ever love someone so much you ignored every red flag they threw at you? That was me until she left me broken. Like, subscribe and comment as we dive into the topic. Chapter 1. The Illusion of Forever. She said she loved me. 5 words. 5 tiny symbols that held the weight of the universe in my chest. We've all heard them. Most of us have said them. But how many of us have understood them? Truly understood what it means when someone professes love? In the beginning, her words felt like eternity disguised in silk. Every "I love you" she whispered was a promise, not just of presence, but of permanence. But if life has taught me anything, it's that permanence is the grandest illusion of all. Love, especially in youth or desperation, is often misunderstood. We believe it to be a contract, a bond sealed by kisses and good mornings. But love isn't always what we think it is. Sometimes it's projection, sometimes it's convenience, and sometimes it's simply the moment. Epictetus, the Stoic sage, once declared, "When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger." I was angry when she left, angry at her lies, her silence, her sudden detachment. But deeper than that, I was angry at myself for believing in a fantasy I helped write. What is forever, really? Is it a feeling, a choice, or a myth? In our minds, we assign value to people based on how they make us feel. We ignore red flags and label them challenges. We hear apologies and call them growth. And in our pursuit of love, we forget that not everyone is capable of the kind we crave. My illusion of forever started on a bench, under a fading sun, as she told me I was all she ever needed. I looked into her eyes, searching for doubts, and found none. Not because there weren't any, but because I didn't want to see them. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." My soul had turned the color of her voice, her laughter, her scent. I thought I was in love with her. In truth, I was in love with how I felt when she was around. That's where many of us fall. We don't fall for people. We fall for feelings. We fall for the warmth of being wanted, the safety of being seen, the thrill of being chosen. And when the illusion shatters, we aren't mourning the person. We're mourning the dream. I should have asked myself, was she consistent? Did her words match her actions? But I didn't. Because when you're high on affection, truth looks like sabotage. She said she loved me, but love, real love, is proven in time. Not in words, not in grand gestures, but in quiet consistency. In the little ways someone chooses you over and over, even when it's inconvenient. Instead, I mistook emotional intensity for emotional safety. And when the intensity faded, all that was left was the echo of my own unmet expectations. The illusion of forever is a story we tell ourselves to avoid the fear of impermanence. But nothing in life is truly permanent. Not even pain. That's the gift and the curse of being human. Everything is borrowed. Everything ends. Seneca, another Stoic mind, reminds us, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. I craved more from her than she could give. More commitment, more clarity, more depth. And in doing so, I became emotionally bankrupt. When she left, I didn't just lose her. I lost my idea of us. I lost the comfort of what could have been. I lost the identity I had built around being hers. But in that loss, something unexpected was born. Awareness. I began to see love not as a destination, but as a journey. One that starts with the self. The illusion of forever taught me that no matter how much someone says they love you, the real question is, do they choose you when it's hard? Do they honor you when no one's watching? Do they stay when it's no longer easy to do so? She didn't. And that, perhaps, was the greatest lesson of all. So to you watching this and wondering if you're the only one who got burned by a promise that wasn't kept, you're not alone, and you're not broken. You're awakening. Let the illusion die. Let the fantasy go. What remains is the truth. Love starts within. The forever you seek must first be found in your own heart. Because when you love yourself completely, no one can leave you empty. 2. The abyss of abandonment. There's a silence that screams louder than words. It doesn't come all at once. It comes in waves, slow, creeping, suffocating. That's what abandonment feels like. Not a sudden collapse, but a slow death. A disappearing act written in real time. She left, but it wasn't a goodbye, not a closure-laced farewell. It was an absence that grew like a shadow in my life. One moment she was there, present in messages, kisses, laughter, and then absence. Her silence was a language I didn't speak, a void I couldn't translate. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." But what happens when your imagination is all you have left? I imagined her reasons. I replayed conversations like clues to a puzzle. I rewrote scenarios in my head where maybe, just maybe, I had done something different, something better. Abandonment doesn't just hurt, it questions your worth. It shakes the foundation of your self-belief. If someone who swore they loved you can leave so effortlessly, what does that say about you? Marcus Aurelius offered wisdom for such pain. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. But how do you control your mind when every memory becomes a ghost? When every scent, song, or location becomes a portal back to what you lost? That's the trap of abandonment. It lives in what's missing. Every unanswered text, every seen message, every plan unfulfilled. It's not just heartbreak, it's betrayal disguised as distance. I remember waking up in the middle of the night, reaching for my phone, hoping she'd replied. I remember refreshing her profile, watching her life move forward without me. I was stuck, frozen. She was gone, but the pain stayed. Epictetus teaches that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. But my reactions weren't noble or composed. I cried. I broke things. I screamed into pillows. I blamed myself, then her, then myself again. Abandonment teaches you that control is an illusion. You can love someone with every part of your soul, and they can still choose to leave. Not because you're unworthy, but because they have the freedom to. We often mistake proximity for permanence. Just because someone is beside you doesn't mean they're truly with you. Sometimes abandonment begins long before someone physically walks away. She began pulling away subtly. Fewer laughs, shorter replies, delayed calls, excuses. I felt it, but I ignored it. I didn't want to believe that the woman who once held my heart could slowly drop it without explanation. I tried to fight the void. I begged, pleaded, bargained. But you can't force someone to care. You can't force someone to stay. And that's the reality most of us don't want to face. Love is voluntary. The abyss of abandonment taught me to stand alone, to rebuild brick by painful brick, the parts of me that shattered in her absence. I began to see that her silence was an answer, her departure was a decision, and my healing was now my responsibility. The Stoics believed in amor fati, the love of fate, that everything that happens to us, even the painful, is a part of our becoming. What if her leaving wasn't my undoing, but the beginning of my rebirth? I started writing again. I spoke to friends. I walked without music in my ears. I sat with the silence, not as an enemy, but as a teacher. And it taught me, you can't chase someone into loving you. Silence is a decision. People leave not always because of you, but because of them. Healing doesn't begin when they come back. It begins when you let go. So if you've been abandoned, left with questions, haunted by silence, don't let it define you. Let it refine you. You were not the absence. You were the presence. You were the one who stayed. And that in itself is something powerful. 3. Letting go is love too. Letting go. It's the final act of love most never talk about. It's quiet. It's painful. But the truth is, real love doesn't always end with togetherness. Sometimes real love is knowing when to release what no longer serves your soul. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept whatever comes to you, woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" I didn't understand that at first. I thought love was supposed to stay, to fight, to last. But just like the seasons, some people come into your life not to stay, but to awaken, and that's okay. There is courage in letting go. There is honor in walking away with dignity. I began building a life so full, so meaningful, that missing her became a soft echo, not a scream. Because letting go is not forgetting, it's remembering and still choosing peace. In the stillness of a morning where I didn't reach for my phone to see if she texted. In the laughter with friends where I didn't compare them to what she used to be. If you've ever been left broken, I want you to remember, you're not alone. We all carry scars, but every scar is proof that we survived something meant to destroy us. Don't run from your pain. Walk through it, feel it, face it, and when you're ready, let it go. Let go of the person, let go of the expectation, let go of the past, because what's waiting for you on the other side is not just healing, it's rebirth. If this story resonated with you, if it gave you even a moment of clarity or comfort, then do me one favor, like, share, and subscribe, because somewhere out there, someone else needs this too. And together, we rise. Thank you for watching.